Hey everyone, so I promised in my Frankenfurter tutorial that I would do a magenta look, and I know Halloween is fast approaching, so I thought I'd get it done. So yeah, here's magenta. I want to give my face a slight pale complexion, so I'm going to be mixing, I've used this combination quite a lot recently if you haven't already noticed. I'm going to be mixing Bobbi Brown's skin with a little bit of white face paint. As you can, well, not white anymore, it's kind of used, but yeah, because I've used this quite a lot. I'm just using a sponge just to blend it all in. And of course you want to keep that pale face all night. You just set it. So I'm going to be using this powder, Matte Prep and Prime Translucent Powder. Now the brows in this look, they're not, I don't think they're really that spectacular. I think they were Patricia Quinn's natural eyebrows anyway. They don't look like they had much work done to them. So I'm just going to take some Bobbi Brown Birch shadow, with an angle brush. I'm just going to use this just to make my eyebrows look a little bit neater, that's all. Now Magenta had a very specific shape to her eyeshadow, and that it was quite, the base eyeshadow was brown, and it actually went sort of in like a crescent moon shape. And so I think the best way to do this is just basically trace around where your socket bone is. I think that's probably the best way, because that way you're going to get it neat. So, got an angle brush, so I'm going to be using this shade by Maybelline. It's shade 750 and Chocolate Chick. So just using an angle brush, trace around in my socket area. Okay, now once you've got that, we're going to add to make sort of the crescent moon shape. So start off there, then bring up and just touch the eyebrows, just there, and then come down. Okay, once you've got that basic shape, you just want to fill it all in. Patricia Quinn had like the perfect eye shape for this, because she had a very, very high like open lid area and a very high brow area. So she could basically get away with this look, like, and it really did suit her. Then I'm just going to take it under my eye. Now her lids are black, so I'm going to just apply a bit of base to my eyes. I'm going to be applying some Black Ground by MAC, it's a paint pot. I'm just going to put this onto the lid. Now for Black Ground. Just going to put this on top just to really make it look really dark. I'm still taking the black tide. I'm just going to take it underneath my, just at the lower lash line. Now I'm just using MAC Smolder Kohl, just in the lower and upper waterlines. Now just taking a white eyeshadow, any white eyeshadow will do. This is Gesso by MAC. I'm just going to just dab it just around, just the upper outer edges of basically the area of the brow area that you haven't put brown eyeshadow on. This will hopefully lighten it and sort of might just make it a little bit more blended in. Now you want the lashes to be quite spiky. In fact, most of this look was quite spiky, as if you've received sort of like electric shocks. That's why you've got the frizzy hair, and actually the eyebrows are quite straight. In fact, the makeup and look for Magenta was based on Elsa Lanchester in Bride of Frankenstein. In fact, most of the looks and things of the film and show were based on old movies and old horror stories. In fact, Riff Raff was based on Count Orlok in Nosferatu, and there's loads of references of Frankenstein, for example, The Birth of Rocky. So if you probably have best to wear false lashes with these and make them look quite spiky ones. So I'm going to be using these ones. These are from Paris Hilton by Elegant Touch. And see if they're quite spiky, I'll get them out for you. See, they're quite spiky. So I've just applied a thin strip of glue, just waiting for that to dry. Okay, now you want to have bottom spiky lashes. Now if you do have false bottom lashes, by all means use them. I'm not going to do that, I am going to draw them on. Simple really, I hate putting on bottom lashes, I cannot do it to save my life. So if you have the same problem, you can get away with just getting a liquid liner is probably best, because you do want them to look quite pinpoint, basically like lashes. So, and you just basically want to draw them on, and they were quite long in most of Magenta's looks. Not so much throughout the film, but during like the promotional pictures, they were quite long. So you can make them as long as you want to. Now, of course, you can play around this look as much as you want to. I mean, this is all about giving yourself over to absolute pleasure, so you can do whatever you want to. So I've gone like sort of long, short, long, short, long, short of my bottom lashes. Now I think I've gone a bit slightly too long with the longer part of the lashes, so I'm just going to get just a white, just go around, just to shorten them just a tiny bit. I probably should have done the base last. Okay, I'm going to skip blusher because Magenta's face is basically really pale, and from what I've seen I don't think there's much contouring or anything done on Patricia Quinn's face, and she has quite a round face anyway, and I've got quite a round face as well, so I'm just going to keep my face just as it is. So now I'm going to move on to the important part, the red lip. Now Magenta lips are really important because, I don't know many of you know this, but it was her lips at the beginning of the video, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that means that it's her lips in the promotional pictures and all that, but it was her lips that were doing the at the beginning with like Michael Rennie was ill the day the earth stood still. And also, this might come as a surprise to you, but it wasn't actually her singing, it was Richard O'Brien who was singing the opening song, and he was dubbing over the lips. So yeah, a bit of movie trivia for it. Okay, I'm going to start with a liner. I'm going to start with quite a deep brick red. It's MAC and it's Auburn. So I'm going to start quite dark on the lip liner and put lighter shade on top. Okay. Oh, if you are wondering about the get up, don't worry, I didn't buy it just for this tutorial. I didn't go that far. Reason is I went to see the show just under a year ago now, and I went as Magenta, so I already had the French maid's outfit anyway. So yeah, I just thought I'd get it out just to sort of add to make it more realistic. Now Magenta's lips were sort of two different shades. The top one was quite dark, and the other one was quite light. So I'm actually going to be using two different lipsticks. I've got both of them out. I've got Ruby Woo and Lady Danger. So on the top part of my lip, I'm just going to apply the Ruby Woo. And the bottom part, I'm going to be applying the Lady Danger. So you see it's quite slightly lighter than the Ruby Woo. Now I'm just going to use a slightly deeper lip liner. This is from Barry M. It's number 11. Just on the top lip, just to make it look a bit more darker. Now, because Rocky Horror is all about red lips, you want your red lips to stay all night. So I'm going to be using this Wonder product. It's called Lip Coat, and you can get it from Superdrug or Boots for a couple of quid, and it really does work wonders. Whatever you put it on, your lipstick does not budge. It does sting a little bit when you put it on, but that lasts about 5 seconds and it goes away, and then your lips basically stay put all night. So I'd really recommend this product. So it stings for about, starting to sting a bit now, for about, not so much stings, it sort of like tingles a bit, then it goes away. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my Magenta makeup tutorial, and also I hope you've enjoyed my Halloween series, because this is going to be, unfortunately, this is going to be the last in my Halloween series. So next time I get to move on to more wearable looks, thank God. Yeah, well, I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope they've been helpful, and yeah, that's it really. Happy Halloween, guys, and I'll see you in a bit.